I'm excited to bring you a podcast today with two amazing massage therapists. Now we have David Clayton and Jackie Kearn. They're both based in Adelaide. David has got a power and a wealth and knowledge behind him in the world of planning. And Jackie is super driven, enthusiastic, and motivated. When these two powerhouses come together, they have managed to create a podcast, and it's called the Folding Towels Podcast. I want you to listen to their journey, the challenges that they faced along the way, and enjoy this fun-filled episode. It might seem odd to people that I've got David and Jackie. Like, why do we have both of you here? Because you guys have collaborated to create a podcast, right? Yeah, we have. So let's have a little chat about that. Let's touch on that because it's really exciting. I'm going to come to David. Tell us, what on earth were you thinking? No.
This was born out of a business planning exercise that I did last year, where I was starting to think about where do I want to go next in my career, and how can I take steps to get there. And longer term, I see myself going into a level of education. But part of this was some stimulation around boredom, because I like to tinker with things and learn new skills. And there's lots of information out there for therapists who want to start a business, and there's lots of support, lots of paid support. And you can learn courses to learn new skills, but then there's just the raw talk, the questions which come up over and over again of, is this normal? Do people really ask these things? Do things like this happen to you as well? And the thought that maybe you could just talk about, I guess, like the TV show Friends, or Seinfeld, is it the show about nothing?
Yeah, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, the show about nothing, is like, maybe we could just have some genuine, raw, honest conversations about real things affecting real massage therapists, because it's not the world of the stacked stones and the frangipani in the ear and the clean white linen massaging on the beach and everyone being kind to you. There's stinky feet and there's farts and people ask odd questions, and some people ask
people can offend
wrong
you
questions
sometimes.
and people get offended
and trigger you.
Jackie and I have collaborated on things over the last few years, and I think we met for a beer one day, or it was schnitzel or something, and I said, what do you think?
I remember talking about it because we have known each other since about 2015. About then. And I remember talking to David on and off for at least 6 months, if not longer. I think maybe 9 months even, before we just decided one day, let's stop talking about it, let's just do it. But yeah, we talked about it for about 9 months beforehand, just on and off, and was like David said, we'd see the conversations happening in the Facebook groups, and we both know a few baby therapists, coming out of school, and we're like, oh, they're all asking the same questions. Oh my goodness. Like, we have to do something.
The answers are poor.
Some of the answers were not great. Yeah. So, yeah. And then we just decided, stuff it. Let's just record something and see what happens, basically. Probably a little bit more in depth than that. But it was like, let's stop talking about it. We're just going to do it. Yeah.
We hit 1,000 downloads back in May or June or something. And there was this turning point of, people are listening to us.
Yeah.
And for people who are not familiar with the world of podcast, 1,000 downloads means what? If we can equate it to massage clients, yeah?
Well, it's 1,000 listens, so it's potentially 1,000 massage clients, or maybe 800 clients, and some of them are repeaters. Some of them have come back. So it's essentially 1,000 listens. So if you have 1,000 clients that come to see you in 6 months, it's every single one of those people that's come to see you. Yeah. And it was.
I'm just trying to get it, like, for massage therapists, because I'm practitioners, because that's who listens to both of our.
It's like hitting your goal of 20 people in a week.
Yeah, it's like hitting your golden number, your ideal client consistently across 6 months, pretty much is almost what that's like, isn't it? It's like, you know what? Yeah, but you're smashing that now, aren't you? You're doing more than that.
We're nearly at 6,000 downloads, so it's really accelerated over the last couple of months. And I love stats. I love pretty graphs. So we can. It's part of the stimulation, looking at the stats from the Spotify feed, and there's people listening to us in the United States and in the UK and in New Zealand, in Japan. It's like people around the world are starting to tune in.
That was one of the most surprising things for me, because David's like, "Oh, Jackie, we've got listeners in Japan," and I'm like, "What? What? How?" So that was really surprising that we would actually have that. Like, it's only a small number, but it's not insignificant that we have that many people from other countries. Because when I went into it, I thought, okay, well, I'm in Australia. We know about Australian laws and regulations and all of that sort of thing, and we're going to make it for Australian therapists.
Because we've got funny accents.
Yeah, we sound Australian. Yeah, but it's been wonderful. And I know for myself, I'm not sure if David had this idea in his head, but I know for myself, I went in thinking, okay, we'll put it out there and see what happens, and, keep going. And then I guess after a while, we'll have to really market and get it out to the people. And that's not really what happened. It kind of just found its audience, and we haven't really done a lot of marketing at all. Not in the traditional sense. Yeah. So we've shared in groups and we talk about it and whatnot, but we haven't spent any money on marketing, which is great, I guess.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
So it's been organic, I guess you would say, which is amazing.
So what's the plan for it? What would be like the pinnacle, where
we're taking over the world?
All over the world. Why not?
There is a plan that sits behind what we do and the types of things that we are potentially looking at rolling out. And as alluded to, there's plenty of help out there in terms of running a business or growing a practice. But there's lots of small steps that micro businesses might want to take, or someone who might be massaging part-time or might be a contractor in another clinic, and just at a different level to someone who's running a practice, say, that there's questions that need to be answered, and there's a lot micro steps that we're looking at running out as individual trainings. But I follow the philosophy of a guy called Tim Reed. He's a marketing expert over in Queensland, around being helpful. Be helpful is your best marketing tool. And as long as you're being helpful, people will probably form a relationship with you, and then maybe one day they'll make a purchase decision. And we're looking at what that purchase decision might one day be.
Yeah. We're definitely talking about next steps at the moment, because like I said, we have I think are we 5 or 6 months in, David?
We've been going since March. So
March,
yeah,
okay.
7 months.
7 months, okay.
Yeah.
And because we are obviously coming up to the silly season, the Christmas season, we are discussing next year now, what we're going to do next year with the podcast, and then from there, next step. So we do have some plans, which is very exciting. But at the moment, yeah, we're just trying to get through to Christmas so we can have a break.
Yeah.
and yeah, really organize plans. And we've got quite a few guests lined up for next year, which is really exciting. Yeah, some amazing people that work within the world of massage. They're not necessarily massage practitioners, but are within our world of people, which is, yeah, really cool. So really excited about some of those interviews. And yeah, so it is super exciting. And I think we're probably not going to give too much away.
Now, that's wonderful. I guess what I would probably ask for you guys is, on your podcast journey, what was your biggest learning so far? Because I know it's just, starting.
For me, it was just getting started. You've worked with me in the past, Christine. Analysis paralysis. It's like, is it ready yet? No, we haven't done all the things. Okay, we're never going to get started because we've just got to get started. So we got started. It was a little bit raw and dirty to start with, but we've refined as we've gone. We've got plans in place. We've purchased equipment now. We're now sitting in a room. Whilst you can't see the setup in this angle, we're actually sitting in a room which we've set up together for podcasting.
That's cool.
But if we tried to do all those things at the start, we probably wouldn't have even made it to episode 1.
Yeah. I think my biggest learning thing was just, I'm going to say just to let go and just do it, because I do have a little bit of the analysis paralysis as well. I like to overthink things, to enjoy that apparently. But yeah, we just did it, and we said, stuff it. Like, there are some great podcasts available. Like, there's some amazing stuff out there you can listen to, but there's also some absolute garbage, just generally speaking. And we thought, this is so needed, this conversation around massage. So many things are changing in our industry and have changed already, and there's future changes coming. Yeah, and it's just so needed. And so that was actually really surprising for me personally, that it didn't matter that the room echoed, or, that
we said the F-bomb.
That we swore, or that the editing was a bit wonky and stuff. Like, it didn't matter. None of that mattered. And that, I say the word, is it absolutely? I think I say absolutely a lot in a couple of episodes, like way too much. Yeah. And none of that mattered. Like, people have just loved what we've done. So that was actually surprising for me. So I think that's helped me to just go, you know what, just do it. Just jump in both feet, Jackie. Just do it.
Yeah. There has been a process of letting go for both of us. And we had some conversations around, there was some inconsistencies or little things which popped up in episodes. And Jackie's like, I just heard this. I've just heard this. And I might have spent way longer than I wanted to editing something. And so part of me is going, I edited that. But
I would feel so guilty as well, messaging David and going, oh, I think there's an issue with this at this point. Can you check it out? And he'd be like, no.
And I'm going back to say, look, only 20 people have listened to our episode this week. It's not like we're Joe Rogan with 1 million downloads in a week. We're not at that level yet. But then from my own perspective as well of letting go of, I would sit down for hours to edit something which might have been a 30-minute episode. And initially that was stimulating, and then it got frustrating, and then it got to the point where I'd just delay it. And it's like, do I really need to look for every 1 second blankness in there and cut that out? Do I really need to look for every breath that might appear in the episode and try and cut that out?
No.
Good enough is good enough.
Good enough. Yeah.
Exactly. That's very cool. And I can hear how detail driven David definitely is. Yeah, in that. Yeah. And that's, And that can be gold, and it also can be debilitating at the same time. Yeah. Delay, because it's not right. It's not perfect. And both of you have already kind of put your hand up saying, really like things to be right, before it goes out. So I love your podcast. I think it's wonderful. I do listen to it. I enjoy it a lot. Cool. Okay. If you could give someone some advice, say they're not so much just starting out, but they're in the place where they're, tapping along and it's not quite where they want it to be. Yeah.
I would say, coming from my own experience, I would say get out of your own head, get out of the building, go and network with other therapists and other body workers. Go and communicate with people. Even if you don't specifically talk about whatever it is that you need to talk about, sometimes just getting out and hearing things from other people can get you out of what might potentially be a negative headspace. I found that to be vital for me. And I know Adelaide's so funny. I've tried over the years to organize a few networking things. Sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. But I always love catching up with other therapists. And I just find, because as we've said, both David and I are solo practitioners. We basically work alone. We don't even work together. He works at his place, I work at my place. And I just find that sometimes, even if you don't talk about the actual problem that you may have, sometimes just actually getting out of your routine, talking to someone else can just work wonders. So that's my advice for the day.
That's fantastic. Great advice. Really great advice. And I'm sure when people are in that place where they're like, ugh, the last thing they want to do is go out.
Yeah.
Meet new people. Because sometimes when we're in that headspace, it's like, I don't even want to meet me right now. Why do I want to meet other people? Grumpy.
Yes.
But I think that's a wonderful thing to do. And I too have forced myself to do that. And then I set up my practice and things so that I had regular networking, regular events I went to.
Even if it's only a few times a year, I think catching up with other people in the industry can be so beneficial, because especially if you are a solo practitioner or a micro business, you only see the same one or two people every day. You can become really stagnant. And it's so fascinating to hear about what else is happening elsewhere in the field. It's really interesting. Yeah.
And even related allied health as well, like networking with them. I missed that, David. Were you being cheeky?
It's also good to know that you're not crazy. Sometimes you just got to talk to another person to realize that actually this is normal, or you're experiencing that too. It's not just me.
Yeah. True story. It's reassuring, isn't it? Yeah. How about you, David? What advice would you give? Let's choose a different sort of person. What would you say to someone who is thinking about starting out in massage? They are working full-time, secure income. What would you say to them?
Oh, I'll start with the advice that I was given.
Oh.
Don't quit your job, David. Men can't make it in the massage industry.
Oh, no.
No one wants to employ a man, which is why I'm working for myself, is that you can be the master of your own journey if you want to. You don't have to start your own business if you don't want to. People have very successful and happy careers working with other people, and that is completely okay. And you can make your own journey. You can be the master of your own journey. But you've got to have a plan.
True story. Have you ever been employed as a massage therapist, David?
No, I've not.
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
As a contractor.
to do event work. Yeah, that's how I did backstage at rock concerts. Yeah. I know.
Not jealous at all.
It's a bit cool, isn't it? And I also got paid to work for the NHS to do massage at alcohol and drug rehabilitation. That was a paid gig as well. So there is opportunities out there for employment if you look for them.
I've definitely noticed over the 10 or so years that I've been doing massage that so much has changed. And there are so many more men actually studying massage and wanting to go into the caring fields, which typically it was, a woman's job to do that. So yeah, it's been very interesting to see how that has all changed. And we have quite a few male therapists in Adelaide. I don't know about other states, but we do have quite a few here. I would love to know what the statistics are on that, actually. Yeah, it'd be very interesting.
I think that we are clean out of time.
Yeah.
I really appreciate both of you coming in today and having a wonderful, interesting, non-linear conversation with yours truly. It's been a lot of fun, and I'm sure people are absolutely going to enjoy it. It's fantastic to hear where you've come from and where you guys are going, even though it's cliffhanger,
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
We can get out as we go.
Yeah, you will. You always do. So thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Christine.